Is there a demonic presence at SummerWind?
On the shores of West Bay Lake, Wisconsin, there stood an old mansion. A chamber for restless souls. For 70 years, whoever walked its halls walked side by side with the dead. On a stormy summer night in 1988, lightning strikes SummerWind multiple times, and the old mansion burns to the ground. Today, these ruins are all that remain.
Nestled within the woodlands that line the shores of West Bay Lake in Vilas County, the SummerWind Mansion once stood. Long known to be the most haunted house in Wisconsin, the legends surrounding the house are as plentiful as the number of owners who have tried to live within its walls. SummerWind Mansion in Vilas County regularly shows up on lists as the most haunted place in Wisconsin. The ghost stories surrounding SummerWind are only legend and hearsay, and none can be corroborated with independent evidence. The mansion was real and interesting in its own right, but the tales of disembodied spirits and eerie organ music only add to the fascination of this place. The building known as SummerWind was first constructed in the early 20th century as a fishing lodge along the shore of West Bay Lake. In 1916, Robert Patterson Lamont, an executive with the American Steel Foundries Corporation and future Secretary of Commerce under Herbert Hoover, purchased the building. The Lamont family renovated and enlarged the mansion to transform it into a family summer vacation home. The first tale of a haunting comes from the Lamonts, and according to the legend, servants working for the family complained of hearing voices. Then, one night, a ghostly apparition allegedly appeared in the kitchen area, prompting Lamont to fire 2 shots into the basement door. According to Lamont, while he and his wife were dining one evening in the kitchen, the basement door flew open on its own. It startled the couple. They watched in horror as an apparition of a man materialized from the basement. Believing the specter to be an intruder, Lamont reached for his gun and fired 2 shots. Each bullet passed through the mysterious figure with no effect. The couple fled and never returned to the house, leaving the bullet holes from the fired shots in the basement door, a lasting mark of their time in the house. After sitting empty for years, SummerWind was sold in the 1940s to the Kiefer family, who also used the house as a vacation home, renting the large property out to visitors. Many passing tenants claim Mrs. Kiefer rarely set foot inside the house, often handing the keys to the guests and leaving them to their own devices. Then, in the early 1970s, the house was once again put up for sale and purchased by a new family, and with it, the haunting of SummerWind Mansion began. Arnold and Ginger Henshaw moved into the house with their 6 children, intending to restore the dilapidated home to its former glory, but could not find a local contractor willing to help them, for the fear of the house and its haunted reputation. Undeterred, the family decided to take the work on themselves. While painting the closet in one of the bedrooms, Arnold discovered a hidden crawl space. Unable to fit inside, he sent his youngest daughter, Mary, to investigate. Inside the sealed room, she discovered a pile of bones and a human skull with the knotted black hair still attached. Why the Henshaws never reported the grisly discovery to the authorities remains a mystery, but according to the family, they put the skull back and sealed up the crawl space. Years later, they would reopen the crawl space and find only an empty space. The skull and bones seemingly had vanished into thin air. Ginger and her children began to experience the sensation of being watched in the house. Then, unexplainable noises were heard coming from seemingly empty rooms. Furniture and objects moving by unseen hands, and then one afternoon, an apparition of a woman appeared before Ginger in the dining room. Arnold too found himself tormented by the spirits. He began to suffer from insomnia, and reportedly took to playing the Hammond organ at odd hours of the night. He claimed the music kept the demons at bay. When Arnold lost his job, the couple began to have marital issues, and finally, after all the stress of previous months, Ginger began to contemplate suicide. The family could take no more. After just 6 months, hopes of turning the house into their dream home had descended into a living nightmare. Ginger and the children moved out to live with their parents, and soon after, Arnold left as well, leaving the property empty and abandoned once more. A few years later, apparently unaware of his daughter's harrowing experiences in the house, Raymond Bober, Ginger's father, decided he would purchase the property, finish the renovation, and turn it into a restaurant and inn. However, during the construction of the restaurant, Ginger's brother reportedly saw an apparition on the 2nd floor, and upon running down to the 1st floor, witnessed a residual haunting in the form of a replay of the Lamont's confrontation with the ghost in the kitchen, so far as to hear the gunshots and the smell of gunpowder. Like others before him, he left and refused to return. Construction workers and contractors complained to Bober that the tools and blueprints had gone missing. Even stranger, they claimed that the dimensions in various rooms seemed to change as they worked, never matching the blueprints or dimensions they only just recorded. Unable to work with the strange going-ons, many workers quit the project, refusing to enter the house again. Fascinated by the paranormal activity taking place, Bober began communicating with the spirits, using Ouija boards, convinced something evil resided in SummerWind. He underwent a hypnosis session and began speaking in a deep and unrecognizable voice. Later, he described what had taken place while he was under, detailing his mental journey to the basement of the property, where he had uncovered the deed to the house that was signed by Jonathan Carver. He came to believe that Carver was a frontiersman who, according to the deed, not only built the house, but also owned at one point a third of Wisconsin's land. However, after searching the basement, the document was never recovered. It was during this search that the crawl space in the upstairs bedroom was reopened, and the bones and skull were discovered missing.
I was fearful. We were walking in an area that we had no control over. It was total disappointment to dig in that stairway and not find the box. You can't imagine how far we fell in the abyss of disappointment.
We pulled some stones out, and there was a space behind them. But lo and behold, there was nothing in that space. There was no box there. We went through the entire house after that. through every possible nook and cranny we could think of. We went from attic to basement, inside, outside, all over the house.
Eventually, the project was abandoned altogether. Raymond Bober went on to write a book in 1979 titled The Carver Effect, about the supernatural events he had experienced during his time at SummerWind. And so the house sat empty once again until what would be its last owners purchased the house in 1986. 3 investors hoped to turn the mansion's fortunes around, but it was not meant to be. During a storm in 1988, the house was struck by lightning and burned to the ground, leaving only the chimneys standing, which remain to this day. Since then, the legend of SummerWind Mansion has grown, luring locals and paranormal thrill seekers alike to explore the haunted lands and remains of the house. And according to those who have walked among the ruins, while the house may be gone, the ghosts are still as restless as ever. I hope you guys enjoyed the true and real story of the SummerWind Mansion. I've been wanting to go to this place for over 10 years ever since I've seen it on A Haunting. There was something about it that always fascinated me, and it was really awesome to be able to finally go. So let's get into the video. We have a spirit box session where we catch a few answers and we just explore the property and the ruins. It was really awesome to be here, so leave a like on this video and subscribe to the Urban Files. Let's get into it, guys.
What is up, you guys? Today we are in the land of lakes, Wisconsin, checking out the notoriously haunted SummerWind Mansion. The mansion itself is right on the lake. In 1988 it got struck by lightning, so only ruins remain, but there's still 2 chimneys and you can still enter the basement, so we're gonna do a full paranormal investigation here. Here it is, SummerWind Mansion. Ooh, it is the dead of winter. It's literally like 5 degrees out here. It's really cold. But here it is, SummerWind. You still have the 2 chimneys right there standing. You can't really see a lot, but there's like all the foundation is still here. And back there I think is the best part. It's really just surreal to be at one of the most haunted places in America, really. I feel like this is like up there with like the most haunted places for sure. The stories here are just unmatchable with the creepiness level. So this place is really cool. So this right here would have been the basement of the house. Right all in here. You still have the heater that heated the whole entire house right over there. And there's some radiators in that hallway too. I checked it out already, but it's just such a cool place, even in a ruin. Here's the first chimney, parallel to the other one on the other side there. Look, someone actually had a fire here. I'm guessing when it was warm. And look, you can actually see people were trying to dig to find that skull or the land grant or whatever. But yeah, people were searching for that. I'm sure everybody tried to find it. Look at that. Someone put a rock here, John Carver, and then the date. It's really cool. Yeah, John Carver was the architect who constructed this house, I believe. I may be wrong. While I'm up here, I wanted to show you guys the massive staircase over here to get up to the house. It's just so big and luxurious, it seemed like back in its day. So now we're at the back of the mansion. This is just beautiful. This is all foundation. This is crazy. Look how beautiful that is with the snow and the chimney. Wow. It's really awesome to see something like that. This is the basement right here, part of the basement. Wow. Look, there's still a hole from people trying to dig up that box that dude saw. This hallucination. Nothing really in there. I mean, it could be in there if you want to think it is. The way this is set up is so beautiful. You still have 2 radiators here too. It's crazy. This is the opposite side right here. Got the millimeter right here, as you guys can see. It's a solid 7 degrees. It's a solid 3.9 degrees right now.
What?
Ooh, 1.2, it's crazy. Is SummerWind really haunted? Do you want us to be here with you? It was a radio thing. Is there a demonic presence at SummerWind? Dude, I swear I heard a yeah. Can you give us a sign that SummerWind's really haunted? I swear I heard yes, dude. That was a clear yes before, it seems like.
Yeah.
Are the stories real about SummerWind? Whoa. Is there a demon at this old house? Can you make your presence known? I heard not today. Sounded like. Or maybe that was just the radio. Like I said, the K2 never really wants to go off for some reason. It's very hard to make it go off. I have seen it go off. Just very... Oh, it just flickered. Wow. Right as we were... Oh my god, look at that. That's crazy. It just started flickering right as we were talking about it. Is SummerWind still haunted? Do you want us to leave this mansion? Did someone really shoot the door twice at this house? Is SummerWind still haunted? I don't know what that was.